Hey there, boys and girls. Today I'll be doing the Emperor Series boss battle with Tifa. Missions are use green magic, beat him with limit burst, beat him within 25 turns. Matthew was kind enough to set us up with a Tifa for this one. I did water and lock on Kefka, so I figure we'll come back with Ignacio and we'll do fire to the Emperor. One special note about Espers, I have Carbuncle on Charlotte for Dispel. That's kind of important. Ignacio is going to be here to do his Ignacio things. He's going to be dispelling, imbuing, barreling, all that good stuff. I put hit points and spirit on most of my units and some fire resist for this fight. The fixed attacks are pretty significant, but as long as you got a fairly large hit point pool, you should be fine. Charlotte's going to be our passive provoke magic tank. I don't think the magic tank position is like that critical to this fight. It's important, but it's not like you need a ton of gear on your magic tank. She's basically here for her mitigation. Machina is going to be our breaker. I feel like Machina is just one of those units that a lot of people overlook, but his on-demand breaks are 75%, and he has a 120% imperil to, I think, 3 different elements. So he's really nice to use, especially on dispel-heavy fights like this. This is a Nethicite clear, so we're going to be doing that on the thresholds. Machina is probably going to be doing our LB finish on this one as well. Myra, I feel like is really important for this clear because she does like stat buffs. And she has general mitigation. She's got a fire resist buff she's going to use turn 1. She's got LB fill stuff that she's going to be doing. Myra's just an all-around good unit. I think we're even going to use her in peril later on too. She's an all-around important unit for this clear. This is my Tifa. I put the Adamantine on her just for some more survivability because this boss does hurt a little bit. But I think once her damage gets rolling, we should be fine. So I put her at like almost 15,000 hit points, 500 defense and spirit. Defense or the spirit's probably a little bit low for like a conventional clear, but hopefully we can push through this one pretty fast. And Matthew, I've been pestering everybody in Discord all day to set friend units for me, and I certainly appreciate you guys hooking me up. Matthew got a lot more hit points than I do, and he's got that man-eater on like I do. It's really nice. We should make short work of the Emperor with this team. Emperor does a few things that are kind of annoying. He heals up. He's got that defense and spirit buff that he does. And then, of course, the dispel on the thresholds is probably the main thing that's annoying with this boss. His fixed attacks are massive. Like, they do hurt a lot. He'll start off doing, like, once early on in the fight, and then later on in the fight, he'll start doing them more often. With Ignacio, turn 1, let's do Termination Stamp. He's got an invisible buff, if I remember correctly. Then we'll do, let's see here. We want to fill his LB gauge, and then I want to do critical stamp, so I have T-Cast to get on turn 2. Charlotte's going to magic cover. Machina is just going to break. And with Myra, we're going to do an intro. And we're going to jump down here and get Roaring Crowd. That's a 30% general mitigation and a fire resist buff. Really nice for this fight. Then we're going to do Overdrive and Overdrive. Now, hopefully we don't get singled out with these big attacks. And the Emperor has a chance to upgrade his regular melee attacks that he's doing right here to stop a unit. And if that happens, on turn 1 it's really bad because we need to get set up. But later on in the fight, if it happens, it's okay because Myra's Limit Burst can take care of that. You get some counters. That's good for the LB fill. Alrighty, get Ignacio to do, let's see, Termination, Imperil, and an Imbue. That's why it was important that we get him some LB fill on turn 1, so he can go ahead and do that on turn 2. And we're going to do Final Heaven and Final Heaven. Another tip for Emperor is always let your damage go first. That way you see, you know, kind of where you're at, and if you need to use Nethicite or not. That we got to 83%, so we don't need to use Nethicite. It was handy that Charlotte's Limit Burst filled up on its own right there, but if it didn't, we've got Myra. She could have helped fill that with her 4U, but I think we'll just go ahead and do hit single. And then since we dispelled the boss, we need to use an attack and magic break. It's probably going to be the most painful turn that we're going to see. Hopefully our units can take it. Oof, look at how close Matt came. It was a good thing. Good thing we switched over. Why is it every time I use Matt's unit, like, he's almost dying on me? Alrighty. So the Emperor's got his defense and spirit buff. He's got some damage resistance up, which is annoying, but it's okay. I'm going to enable T-Cast, and we're going to push this 80% threshold right here. Oh, not termination stamp. Come on, Ignacio. Critical stamp. And then we're going to send Tifa off with 7th Heaven. Alright, chain that. It looks like Charlotte got stopped, but we pushed that 70% threshold, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to get Nethicite ready. Let's have Myra do a main verse, and let's do an MP recovery for Ignacio. Alright, go ahead and use the Nethicite so we can block this Dispel. Alright, Ignacio. Let's do a Dispel, an Imperil, and Re-Imbue. We'll jump down here and get Final Heaven. See if we can hit that 50% threshold. I need Myra's Limit Burst to fill on this turn as well so I can fire it off. Or we'll just push the 50% threshold and it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do it. That way we can remove that stop. And we'll go ahead and use green magic. That's part of the mission parameters, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way so I don't forget. And then we'll have Machina use manufactured Nethicite. Same thing again at 50, he's just going to try to dispel us. It's not going to work. Alright, we're going to do Final Heaven again. I think with Ignacio, we'll just go ahead and get his T-Cast ready. Let's go ahead and send our chainers off. 30% is our next threshold. Wow. We hit that. It's crazy we can just like delete this boss with like just simple chaining moves. Let's just go ahead and do intro and I guess a hit single because we really have nothing else to do. So use that resist buff again. And the last action will be Nethicite. I'm not worried about the re-raise that he puts on himself this turn because he's going to lock at 10%. Let's just go ahead and refresh Tifa. I'm almost confident she'll get to the 10% threshold, but let's check our Fire Imbue. We got 3 turns on that. Make sure you don't let that drop off. I'm just going to chain Final Heaven instead of her cooldown ability, even though her cooldown ability would have done more damage right there. I felt like I was going to lock at 10%, so it didn't really matter to me. Doesn't really matter what our units do on this turn because we're going to get dispelled. And we have no way to prevent that. Let's enable our T-Cast again. We'll just defend Machina. There's going to be 2 dispels. He's going to dispel himself, and then he's going to dispel us. I mean, you could prevent your dispel, but he has the re-raise up, so it doesn't really matter if you block it. Alrighty. Let's go for the kill now. Where's my dispel with Charlotte? We're going to get Ignacio. Here. I want to Forge Weapon Flame Blast for the Fire Imbue. And then with Charlotte. With Myra, I want to do her Fire Imperil, Piercing Voice. And let's go ahead and do Roaring Crowd again for the fire resist. The Emperor's not going to do anything this turn, but just buff again and end turn, so it's not really that big of a deal. Then we'll get 7th Heaven ready. We'll get Machina's Limit Burst ready. I'm pretty confident we're going to get a kill on this turn. If we don't, he's just going, like I said, he's going to buff and end turn again, so it's no big deal. Go ahead and send Tifa off. Go ahead and send Machina off. His LB does take a while to go. There it is, so the overkill. 7 turns, all missions. That's really good right there. And we was able to punch through that mitigation, which is pretty huge. But like I said, if you can't chain through the mitigation, you've got a whole nother turn. You'll have to dispel him again, try to get you an Imperil up, but he should be practically dead by that point, so you should be able to chain through him pretty easy. I was very impressed with Tifa on that outing. I didn't expect her to threshold block the boss as she did. I know we did that a long time ago with King Rain, but I mean, Tifa definitely did a really good job right there. So I hope you liked the video. Make sure you gear your units with enough survivability. Like I said, like anytime we take Matt out with us, we run that risk of almost dying, but he always comes through. He's a great friend. And like I said earlier in the video, I appreciate everybody on the Discord setting friendly units for this. It makes it so much easier to make these videos and everything. So you guys are the best. Certainly appreciate it. I don't know if I'll do any more series boss battles today. Maybe if somebody leaves me a comment on what they would like to see Tifa do next, we could try to do that. But I hope you guys liked the video. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Toodaloo.